Hello, everyone. Aaron here again. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how I pay my employees and how you can easily do it too. It's a big, scary thing when you're first starting a business. Ooh, so scary. How am I going to do it? How am I going to pay my employees? Well, it's very simple. I was a bit scared at first. I thought, how am I ever going to pay these guys? I don't know how to do payroll. I don't know how to submit their hours. I don't know how to take taxes off. I don't even want to learn how to do that because I'm not the smartest person when it comes to numbers like that. I didn't want to have to learn accounting. So when I got to the point of hiring my first employee and I had to set him up on the books and do all that, I could either learn everything myself the hard way and add even more work to my plate, which none of us want to do. I wanted to stick to landscaping and stick to the work I knew. So my accountant suggested to me that they do the payroll for me. So easy. Thank God I did it. It's simple. I don't have to think about anything, and it's very cheap. I mean, I think it's less than, I don't know, it's in the hundreds opposed to thousands per year per employee. And when you're making the kind of money you're making in landscaping, it's very easy to pay that to the accountant once a year to take care of all your payroll. So the way it works with me is at first with my employee, and then as I got other employees, I tell them, okay, you're starting Monday morning at 7 a.m. When you get here, here's the time clock. We had a time clock, which I purchased it used years ago at an old golf course. They were selling it. I bought it, and it was a punch clock. So you get your card, you punch in, and you punch out at the end of the day. So the employees used that for years, and we did that. It was great. So at the end of the pay period, whether you pay biweekly or weekly, I pay biweekly. You get paid every 2 weeks. So on the Thursday, we would get paid the Friday. So on the Thursday, at the end of the day, I would collect all the time cards and say to the employees, guys, what are your hours? Where's your time cards? They would all hand me their time cards for that pay period. And I would all take them all into my office, my home office in my house. And I would, at that point, years ago, I would call my accountant up and say, okay, Brad has this many hours for this pay period. Steve has this many. And I would tell her the hours that these guys worked. Now I just email it. At the end of the day, I go in the house, I email my accountant, I say, these people worked this many hours this pay period, please send me their pay stubs. And it's as easy as that. So call them, email them the hours. Half an hour later or less, my accountant sends me back all the pay stubs already professionally made up on letterhead and everything, um, taking off all the taxes they're supposed to take off and their vacation pay and how many hours they worked. We don't do overtime in Canada for this industry, but if you had overtime, it would be on there too. But yeah, everything's on there. It's all done according to the government's regulations, and it's professional. So that's how I do my payroll. It's so worth the hundreds of dollars, whatever it is per employee at the end of the year. It's not much at all. You don't even miss it, and it's a huge headache doing it yourself. I know a lot of people do it, but I have enough to do, so I don't want to even learn how to do that. So I have them do it. It's simple. At the end of the year, they take care of everything. Like I lay these guys off. We get laid off at the end of November every year because the work runs out, and then snow removal comes in, but we don't have that much work to keep everybody on full time, so we lay people off. The accountant does all that. She sends them the required forms for that, so they can collect unemployment through the months that they're off. She gives them the T4 slip in the spring, so they can go and do their personal taxes. My accountant does everything for the money that it costs. I don't have to deal with anything. If I ever have any questions, I just forward it to the email. I email the accountant, and she answers all those questions for me. Same with the unemployment. Like you're supposed to take off a certain amount of taxes, a certain amount of this, a certain amount. She does everything. She just lets me know, Aaron, here we have to take off this much from this employee. Okay, no problem. When we do it, vacation pay, same thing. When she sends me the stubs, it tells me exactly how much was taken off their paycheck, every pay stub. So what I do is I take that amount that came off their paycheck that I'm supposed to take off their paycheck and set aside. And that's what I do. I have a separate account from my business account which holds all the business money and the expenses come out of. I have another account, which is like a business savings account. And so that's where I put my taxes in. The taxes that come off the employees' paychecks, they go into that account. In Canada, we have HST taxes. We have to charge a sales tax. So when I charge sales tax and I collect it, I take it from the main account and I put it into that savings account. Vacation pay. Every time the accountant sends me that pay stub and it says vacation pay, taking $75 off this paycheck for this employee, that 75 goes into that account, that savings account. So all that money is there when I need it, because sooner or later, the government quarterly in Canada, they want their sales tax money. So I have it there, and I just cut them a check, send it to them, whatever, from that savings account. So it is never all those things that I need to pay, like the vacation pay. If someone says, "Oh, I want to go on vacation next week," I want my vacation pay. No problem. I know I have it in that savings account for them because I've been setting it aside there for them the entire year, and I just cut them a check out of that account. Here you go. They go on vacation. Same with the payroll taxes. You have to pay payroll taxes every once in a while. The government sends you a form. It says your taxes are due. You owe us this much. No problem. I go to the bank. I say, take it out of this account. They pay the government, and everybody's happy. There's no spending that money, because I found at first in the early years of my business, I had all the money in one business account, in my checking account, and that wasn't good because I was buying tools, I was paying employees, I was doing this, I was doing that. The money was getting spent. So then the government or vacation pay or whatever, I would need the money. Someone would say, "Oh, you owe this much. Where's this money you collected?" And I'd be like, "Oh," and I would have to look for money to pay them. Well, now it's so easy just to set all the taxes, everything that you need, vacation pay, taxes, CPP, all that money, put it in a separate account, and it's always there waiting for whoever's asking for it. You have it to pay them. Guys, it's simple. You're going to make a lot of money in the landscaping industry. You can make as much money as you want. You can work as much as you want. You can hire the people and not have to worry about paying them, because, yes, of course, you have to pay them, but you don't have to worry about the math, taking off their taxes and setting their money aside and doing all that, because your accountant for relatively cheap will do that for you. I'll do another video at some point on bookkeeping, because the way I do my bookkeeping is very simple as well. I write it all in a ledger, and then I put it into a program. I have two backups basically, and it's very simple to do. You don't have to be scared about that either. I'll make a future video on bookkeeping, but for now, hire employees. It'll make your life so much easier if you get the right guys on your team. Pay them what you can, pay them what they deserve, keep them there, and don't be scared to do the taxes and the payroll with them, because it's so simple to do. Just ask your accountant, I promise. Let's make more money. Let's make this industry better. Go look at my other videos. I'm going to put videos out all the time, at least 3 times a week, on how you can make money landscaping. I have a small landscape business. I've been doing this 27 years. My business has been full time for 16 of those years. I make decent money, and I love doing it. Guys, thanks for being here.